Hi there. The here and now. I think the truth begins with here and now, continues with the here and now, and ends with here and now. And within that moment of here and now, it reaches out into eternity. As I make this video, I can hear arguments going on about this and that, and about life, and about what to do about life, and what not to do, and what has been, and what could have been. And but before I get on to that, which all could be put into a big category called the grammar of living, as the title of this video suggests, I want to talk about the here and now, because it is from the here and now that we draw the truth or a sense or the metaphysical reality of our being, which the Hindus called Sat. And so basically what this means is that the ultimate value that we might get from life, Sat, is arises from the here and now, as a concept or as a conceptual model, if you like, but also indicating ultimate value. So the ultimate value of our lives, our beingness, if you like, is based or arises from the here and now. And so therefore, it behoves us to focus our attention, our consciousness, or sit on the here and now, and the arrow points down to the here and now box, as an arrow arises from the here and now box and goes into the Sat box. And you'll have to forgive me for my boxes, because I think in boxes and I think in categories. I'm very Aristotelian in that way. Although I know there's fuzzy edges between all these boxes that you see here. I realise that. But at the same time, I like to organise everything into boxes, simply because otherwise I'm so scatterbrained and dispersed normally in life, and on the practical level, that I wouldn't be able to function at all, or would do anything, much less do these videos. And by the way, I'm finding it increasingly difficult to do the videos because of my eyes, and I have a whole lot of material, charts and things which I wanted to talk about, which I may never get round to talking about. And so this could be the video, the sort of my magnum opus video, if you like. And so anyway, from the here and now, and focused, our consciousness is focused on the here and now, from which our being arises. We have Ananda, which is translated as bliss. But I've got a feeling, I don't know, I translate it more in the context of the Upanishads, when they talk about, feeling comfortable within yourself, or grounded in self, which has a peculiar sense all to its own, really. You feel grounded in yourself. You feel comfortable. You feel transcended or transcendental. Transcendental. Transcendental, anyway. And the sense of the transcendental arises from a focus on the here and now. And I've got here on the left hand here a whole list of activities which normally and ostensibly take us from what I call the exterior life to the interior life. But that's sort of a misnomer, really, because the grammar of living, which is always little silver golden boxes around, is all taking place in our own minds, of course, and our own perceptions. So that's a kind of false interior life, if you like, related to the actual external world as we perceive it. And so we are constantly being distracted and dismayed and all the other words that begin with disheartened, and we're dissed by the material world in which we live. And so we're constantly looking for various activities or engaging in various activities, which I've listed here in green, that bring us to the here and now. Some of them are pretty obvious, such as sexual activity or recreational drugs. But I've even included sort of things like routine, and things like counting, which is an OCD symptom. So some of them, there's a mixed bag here of things which are quite innocuous and even positive or good for you, and things which are negative, bad for you, and are quite dysfunctional ultimately, because they all have a price to pay. And so, I'm not making a sort of judgment call here, really. Well, perhaps I am. It's just a list of activities, and I suppose really I leave it up to you to decide whether they're good or bad or positive or negative or functional or dysfunctional. I suppose it's by their fruits shall you know them, kind of thing. So if I look at this list, which I actually can't see anymore because it's in green and, by mistake, and I can't read green on white. Anyway, so that's that, and that will take you to the here and now, of course, temporarily, and perhaps might have a good effect or a bad effect as a price to pay for taking you to the here and now. I mean, really, meditation, although I do favour, it's simply what they call breath awareness, pranayama, which isn't breath control exactly, but literally just not doing anything with your breath apart from becoming aware of your breath. And this awareness is a sort of anchor which anchors you to the here and now in a very natural, spontaneous, and uncomplicated way, which is another way of accessing the here and now, or focusing on the here and now, and thereby attaining sit, or mahasit, the great consciousness, on the great here and now, from which Ananda or Mahananda, I suppose, the great bliss, can arise. All other things being equal, of course. But we live in this world, and our consciousness, our perception, is plagued by what I call the grammar of life. It's all the things like I don't like, and I've paired them all up in a binary sort of way. I would like, I wouldn't like, I would have liked, I wouldn't have liked. And I leave you to, come up with sort of examples. I like and I don't like. These are all based on our beliefs and perceptions and prejudices and bigotry, perhaps even. Some things you like in life and some things you don't like. And that's kind of like sort of fixed. I mean, it shouldn't be fixed, but it is fixed in the best of us, really. And I would like, and I wouldn't like, that's still pretty obvious. And I would have liked if I'd become I would have liked to become a brain surgeon, but I didn't get the good enough grades at school. And the negative of that, you can think of examples for that. I'm not going to dwell too much because the video would be too long. Now, the things like, so that's like, all the things that are already established, and it refers to the past. So all the things that like have to do with liking, I sort of put in the past, as it were. But I mean, it's a past that reaches to the present. So I have liked something until now. And then in the future, I suppose it's I want. So the things that you want have yet to be accumulated or assimilated, or in some way sort of consumed, as it were. So I want or I don't want, and this kind of thing I would have wanted. I would have wanted to meet Susan again, but she died in a car wreck last week, so I can't do that. And so grief arises from the situation, from the fact that you're not going to see Susan again. And that's kind of an interesting one as well. So it's not just a matter of liking and wanting. There are sort of conditionals come into it. And I base this grammar, of course, on English grammar, simply because English is the lingua franca, and some languages like Chinese don't have a past. So that kind of video wouldn't work with the Chinese language, for example. They just use the present in context, I believe. Anyway, the point about it is that you have this interior life of worry, pain, anguish, anxiety, all the things that are born of perception and born of things that we like and don't like, want and don't want, etc. And we have this sort of interior life, we have an exterior life, and the interior and exterior life are sort of bound together in a rather horrendous way. But we also have the here and now, which is the true interior life, to which meditation and breath control or breath awareness can take us. And so I would say that pretty much religion as a symbol is religion is more. Most religions are symbols or systems of symbols, which are metaphors for the here and now, and for the way that we are taken to the here and now. And religious activities such as praying and rituals and things like that all function as ways of focusing our awareness or consciousness on the here and now. Apart from the Pacific religious narratives, such as the Christian narrative of redemption through Christ, I think, or perhaps Christ is the here and now as a metaphor for here and now. We are redeemed through the here and now, in the here and now. Because, of course, the essential or existential thing to realize about the here and now is, of course, when you enter this sacred place, this naos, as one might call it, the sort of inner sanctum of the temple, then you have no past and you have no future. You have no wants and you have no likes. You have no don't wants and you have no don't likes or dislikes. In fact, you have no dis of anything because you're just breathing and you're just in the here and now in a relaxed state. And that is where your repeated activity, the awareness of your breath, which is repeated activity, of course, has taken you. And it's from this here and now that your being arises. And perhaps the words like God and soul are really just metaphors for sat, for beingness arising from the here and now, as it might be. But of course, I've also got a box here, another category. It would be nice if, and very often we contemplate it would be nice if there was world peace or if there wasn't world poverty, for example. It would be nice if there was a God. It would be nice if there was a life after death. And we sometimes go into speculations and contemplations of it would be nice if. And of course, this video channel is peppered with such contemplations and meditations and speculations. And of course, all these things, I suppose, perhaps you could say they draw us away from the here and now into some sort of metaphysical future, like a life after death, or some kind of paradise or heaven. Or you could say that perhaps these contemplations actually take us into the here and now. I suppose it's how you approach these contemplations and speculations. So there's a little bit of danger there, being pulled out of the here and now through metaphysical speculation. And the other golden box is what if. So it's a sort of experimental thing. What if I did this, this, and this? What would be the consequences? And so you attempt to calculate the consequences of your actions before you do them. What if I do this rather than this, for example? So you're sort of comparing two theoretical situations in your mind in order to kind of try and speculate or try and predict what might happen in the future. So there's all this going on in our minds. What if? It would be nice if. I like, I don't like, I would have liked, I wouldn't have liked, I want, I don't want, I would have wanted, all this kind of stuff. And all these various other activities that we do, creative activity, for example, that we do sometimes obsessively, well, certainly every day, routinely, in order to take us to some kind of here and now. A sportive activity, for example, sport is so. People watch sports, or people participate in sport and train and do sports training, in order to reach the here and now, because physical exertion will do that. And even the pain, muscle pain, of repeated sportive activity will take you to the here and now. And no doubt they are helpful on the physiological level. Or people, drugs, of course, recreational drugs are very, very popular in the world today, as they always have been, and alcohol, of course, which also take you to the here and now. But as I said, they may have a price to pay for such activities. But you just don't have to have anything really. You just sit comfortably in a chair and become aware of your breath, and keep that awareness. And the repeated activity of breathing, sometimes with some people, or a lot of people, can have the effect of taking you into the here and now, which, as I said at the start of this video, is the beginning and the end, but also has no beginning and end. It is an awareness of infinity. And, because in the here and now, well, everything stops, the time stops, activity stops. Of course, your body doesn't stop, because you're still alive, hopefully. But you don't notice any of this bodily activity going on. I mean, you don't normally notice 99% of it, unless you're in disease, of course. But sometimes, and of course, even being ill, having a fever can take you to the here and now as well. Sometimes it's quite nice to get ill, perhaps not from COVID-19 exactly, but to have a temperature is not a thing to start panicking about. You could just breathe into it, and go with it. Because the here and now also, it represents a kind of sphere, or realm, of being absolutely sort of comfortable within yourself. Of course, it's hard to maintain, and in this life where all is impermanent, as the Buddha says, you can't maintain an awareness of here and now, and you're going to be sucked back into one of these golden boxes around here, or even awareness of the activity which is originally taking you to the here and now. And then you'll start judging the activity and saying, "Oh, I'm not doing this right, or I shouldn't be doing this activity. It's bad for my health," etc., etc. So quickly you're taken away from the here and now, and into the past, or into the future, or into speculation about what if, and or it would be nice if. It would be nice if I could move my body, for example, then I'd be more comfortable. So there again, that takes you from the here and now, in a split second like that, you see. Um, so the big thing about it, I suppose, and in conclusion, I would say that if I was to have a religion, or a spirituality, it would all be based on an awareness of the here and now, and a pinning of ultimate value on the here and now, from which my being supposedly arises, the sat. So I wish to attain complete and utter awareness of the here and now, the sit part, from which I will enjoy being comfortable with myself, the ananda or bliss part of that, of component of this reaching of the here and now, or attainment of it. And I think this is what the basis of religion is. It's all religions of the world are trying to say that. And if they're trying to say anything else, well, that's kind of like an added thing. For example, religions are trying to tell us how to be good people, and how to enjoy the good life. Well, that's one thing. And then, of course, there's all this kind of metaphysical speculation about life after death and souls and angels and ghosts and I don't know, and spoon bending and and all the rest of it, which is something, and or perhaps a something of nothing really, and that's sort of the gobbledygook side of religion really. So you would really want to sort of have a religion which just had here and now actually. Not even a morality necessarily, not even an ethical questioning, but simply the experience of here and now. And I know people have said, well, this is what transcendental meditation is. So you've got to be careful because you can lead yourself into a feeling that nothing matters after you come out of your transcendental meditation, which can lead you into some morally grey areas and antisocial activity if you don't watch it. So you do have to have an ethical component to your transcendental meditation, to your attainment of the here and now, and that's kind of important. Uh, you know, whether you're dressing all this up in some sort of religious jargon, or whether you're, whether you're just looking at it from a completely secular sort of way. I mean, there's a psychological movement called ACT, which is awareness of emotions, and they say you need to become aware of this part of you that's aware of your awareness. So you feel something and then you can step back and become aware of yourself feeling this. And they say they don't have, there's no word in Western secular atheist culture for this self or this introspection, as one might call it. But of course, it is called soul awareness by other religious movements, non-secular movements. I suppose Buddhism comes into it here. But the trouble with Buddhism, and indeed all religions and all philosophies, is that they become isms, and they have schisms, and they have in-group and out-group mentality. And they have a sort of sludgy kind of new agey kind of feel about them as well. Like I'm a Catholic Buddhist, for example. What on earth does that mean? That's just rubbish, isn't it? Really, how can you be a Catholic Buddhist? Doesn't make any sense except in the minds of sort of new age hippies kind of thing, But the here and now. I mean, this video obviously is a departure from the here and now, because if I was in the here and now, I wouldn't have made this video. But I'm making this video in an attempt to kind of draw you into a gnosis, if you like, of the here and now. And the fact that you don't have to have an angel come down, or you don't have to meet Jesus, or you don't have to have God making an appearance to simply explore gnosis through the here and now, and therefore, if you do this on a regular basis, to be a Gnostic life, which is to say, uh, to follow the Gnostic life, to be a Gnostic, as it were. So I suppose this links this video to this channel, which deals with Gnosticism and Gnosis. So I hope that I haven't made things too complicated. It is, in fact, a very simple base, the here and now. And my last conclusion, honestly, this is the last conclusion, is to seek to attain the here and now, and especially the now, the moment. And I would say, that would be like the best thing and simplest thing you could do, and the thing that would kind of like put a spiritual medal on your chest and make you attain to the highest grade of initiation, if that's your thing. If you want to be congratulated and you want to become an ipsissimus and swan about the place with loads of titles after your name, um, or shave your head like a Buddhist monk. You don't have to do any of that. You really just have to attain the here and now, and attain consciousness of the now, from which your being arises, and from and when you have attained this beingness, you will, as a side effect, experience an incredible bliss, an incredible feeling or sense of oneness with your true beingness.